Hey guys, this is just as a disclaimer, this is going to be a very, very different and difficult video for me to post. This is a little addendum that I'm putting at the front here. lpsloverqa is not a good company. They have been exploiting artists for a very, very, very long time, and I do absolutely urge you to boycott them. But I just want to say that if you own a custom from lpsloverqa, you're not a bad person. Don't feel bad for owning or using one of their customs, and please don't harass other people who use their customs or have them. This is some tea that's just barely started to surface, and most people just simply don't know. But if you do own lpsloverqa pets or you collect them, I do urge you after you watch this video that you don't. But yeah, I'm gonna stop. Just, this is a video. Hello. Hi friends, it's Cecilia. This is a very, very different video from what I usually post. If you've been on my channel at all, you know that I'm all good vibes, and I try to keep it that way. But considering I do have a really strong voice in the LPS community, I feel like this is something that should be addressed, and I feel obligated to let you guys know, because I just found out about this and I am just completely in shock. And yeah, so this is going to be a really hasty edit, and I'm sorry if my voice is like kind of shaky. As you can probably tell, I'm not really happy about confronting anything or talking about like drama or anything, but yeah, so I hope you can forgive the shakiness in my voice and stuff. This is also probably going to be very rambly, so strap in, and I'll be reading the captions on all of these, so you don't have to watch this video. You can just have it on in the background so you can do other stuff. But basically, you guys know lpsloverqa. If you've been in like LPS Instagram, if you've seen like there have been lots of haul videos about them. I've even done one once. I've now privated that video because I don't feel comfortable supporting them or giving praise. But basically, if you don't know who they are, lpsloverqa is basically, if you've seen customs like this, they've made lots of custom LPS, well, custom quote unquote. Basically, they've been making fake LPS with lots of unique designs, and they've been doing this for a few years, and honestly, for the longest time, I really liked their work. I thought they were really doing a nice service for the LPS community, considering that, you know, our biggest wish is for more G2 LPS, and they're kind of helping with that. But there are some very important things that have been happening under the surface, stuff that just unfortunately gets buried because, of course, lpsloverqa themselves are not going to own up to really bad illegal things that they do. So basically, I'm just going to be reading through this. This is from Corux. I'm going to be linking all of the artists I mentioned, whose accounts are still up. That's important. So you can go support the actual artists and the people who deserve your attention and love, and yeah. So basically, I'm just gonna get straight into this. Once I start reading along, you're gonna catch up quickly with what's going on. So this is how these companies destroyed my art and Emma Customs, an information post by Corux about lpsloverqa, Judy Loves LPS, lpsloverqa Taylor. They're all the same company. They're all the same people. Okay, so who are these companies? lpsloverqa and Judy Loves LPS are fake LPS producers. They make aftermarket LPS and sell them as one of a kind, which they are not. They make thousands of each design. A few they have stolen or paid extremely little from artists for. I know this because the blushing dachshund looked extremely similar to a popular custom in the community. Also, I offered them my designs, which they refused because I want a decent pay rate for my designs. So here is an example of some art theft that has happened before. So this is a piece of art that Coworks has done before. As you can see over here, they have a watermark, and watermarks are there for a reason, so they don't get stolen, or at least so you can link back to the artist. But as you can see here, on LPS Toy Story, they're part of the same umbrella company. As you can see, this completely baffles me, first of all. Using the art, okay, whatever, but for an icon so small, the fact that they removed the watermark, you can see that here, that just completely blows my mind, because that is a very deliberate trying to not give credit where credit is due. That is a very active form of vandalism. Just posting this as your profile picture is enough, and even if they posted it with the watermark, it probably wouldn't have been visible, which is like, why did you even do that in the first place? So yeah, if you haven't read this, it says, guys, they didn't ask for my permission to use my art, credit me, and they removed my watermark. They completely defaced my artwork and removed my watermark. The only thing protecting my copyrighted artwork without credit or compensation. Coworks eventually went to confront them. So I'm just going to read this. Okay, so it says, hi, I'm not mad that you used it. I'm more upset that you purposely cropped out my watermark, damaging my property. I'm sure this was a misunderstanding, as this is illegal to not only deface my art, but also use it without rights. So their reply, I am really sorry, sobbing face. That is, first of all, that is just like such a weak apology, and almost just kind of, I don't know, using an emoji just feels a little too playful. It's completely disingenuous already. So this goes on. It's not okay, but let's work it out. I'm willing to give you the rights and forgive the misunderstanding for $20. You will have complete rights to the drawing, but please do not remove the watermark again. I do this to protect the artwork. So $20, this is a completely reasonable offer, and considering how much these people make from making their customs, it should be like a drop in the bucket for them, right? It protects you as much as it protects me. It prevents theft. I have PayPal linked in my bio. And also, this is a kind of form of a contract. This is very important later on, because there are lots of issues about contracts and stuff. So they reply, thank you so much for your understanding. Let me talk with my coworker tomorrow. We will work it out. No worries. I will contact you later. I don't have a timestamp for this, but you can see it's been several days in between, and they just never responded. I received no response, which wasn't surprising. They have stolen my artwork before. They reposted all the entries for their contest, but specifically removed my watermark that time too. I wasn't surprised. These are some posts from Judy Loves LPS. I guess they were doing like a drawing contest, and we have the winners here. So proof they hosted the contest and posted entries. They posted others but deleted mine because I rightfully got upset. They reposted my art again and removed my watermark again. It really feels like they're specifically targeting them. I'm sorry if I used the wrong pronouns before, by the way. And I don't know about you guys, but this is just very scuzzy. But wait, it gets so much worse. This, I think you're just looking at this picture. So this is a custom from Emma's Customs, and I'm just going to show you guys her account really quick, just because, first of all, she's an amazing customizer, and you may actually recognize some of her customs. So you may recognize this. This is the original design for one of the very popular LPS Lover QA designs, and just in general, they have pretty much like very similar style to what you see. So this design was actually bought by LPS Lover QA, so they have worked in the past, but as you can see, I was unable to find like the original source of this image. So if anybody can help me out and offer some more context, that would be really, really helpful, because this is really upsetting. So it says this is the custom by Emma's Customs. It's gorgeous, and as you can see in the photo, where I don't know what happened here, I have no idea what happened here, but it is just absolutely I don't know, it's just ruined. And this just makes me so sad. Like, I don't know what they were doing with it. I imagine maybe like some like mold casting. That's just my personal theory. But, you know, the fact that like they took a picture and it's just completely ruined, and it's just like, come on. Once I saw they were ruining and defacing other artists' works, I knew I couldn't ignore this issue anymore. Conclusion is located in the caption below. Their conclusion: I was extremely hesitant to make this bigger than just DMs, but I've been ghosted by Judy. I was willing to let it go for a while, but this happened twice. They also previously posted it months ago when I made the drawing. I never gave permission or rights ever to Judy to ever use my art. What they did is illegal and property theft, but I was willing to sweep it under the rug. It only became a problem when the behavior escalated. lpsloverqa posted a destroyed version of Emma's customs that she made for them. Seeing the response the community gave made me hope that my situation could be brought to light too, and provide a map for their behavior. So yeah, and I'm just gonna go through the comments because some of these are actually really concerning. These are coming from other people. So this is from Utsuki, if you remember. This is JJ LPS. They gave me an offer too. I wanted a contract. They refused, so I refused their money. This is from LPS Cat 3. They offered to work with me, but I declined, and now I don't regret it. And here from Amatrine LPS, the dachshund custom in question that you mentioned in this post that they based the blushing dachshund off of was made by LPS Celtics, but her account isn't on Instagram anymore. And this is the perfect segue, actually, because we have a second post about this, and this one talks a lot about LPS Celtics, how her art was deliberately stolen after she explicitly said that she didn't want her design used. But anyway, lpsloverqa Part 2, illegal activity, stealing designs, overworking artists for little to no pay, and false advertising, as well as clearing up some misconceptions. So, funny meme. I'm going to stay on this slide for a little bit because I just want you guys to sink in the differences, or well, the similarities between Celtics Custom and the lpsloverqa. I'll be going back to this post if needed. As you can see, the very first thing you see is that it's not for sale. So this is design theft stolen from LPS Celtics Customs. lpsloverqa contacted them asking to buy the design. Celtic refused, and lpsloverqa stole the design anyways. They copied everything. When this first came out, everyone defended lpsloverqa when it was clearly Celtic's design. Come on, even the bow is the same. By the way, there is a little bit of cursing in this post, so my younger fans, I'm so sorry. I'm personally gonna hold my tongue for your guys' sake. But as you can see, this custom is absolutely beautiful. If you look, the similarities between the eyes is just ridiculous. Even down to like the sportiest eye. The blush, while not in all the same spots, the blush here on the eyes is just way too similar. Yeah, but anyway, let's get more context. So here's the conversation. So some of this is in Mandarin with translation, just because Celtic wanted to make sure that the communication was completely clear, and so there was no miscommunication or anything, so just in case you were curious. So we haven't even reached the dachshund yet, so we have over here a screenshot, not even the actual post, of a different custom. We are very interested in this design. Can you sell it to us? How much do you guys pay for designs? $30 and 5 pieces of the figures. We will produce it out, and lpsloverqa will post it and let people know you are the designer. So to put it lightly, I'm absolutely furious about this. Any of you guys who have purchased customs, commissioned customs, or have just seen how much customs generally go for, this probably below the average price of just like a custom commission. No mention of like, possible royalties. It kind of reminds me of that one like trade offer meme. You get $30 and 5 copies of your own design, and we get to create thousands of copies of your design, make thousands of dollars, and yeah. Anyway, so are you willing to sell the design? Smiley face. This is where the conversation starts to get in Mandarin, and just for extra confirmation, I studied 5 years of Mandarin, so this is pretty much, these are completely accurate translations here. I'm really sorry, I decline. This is a one-of-a-kind design, and I do not want my custom to be mass-produced. I hope you guys understand. Thank you. No problem, your art is great. We really love it. Thank you. Okay, perfect way to end this conversation. If you work with us, more people will follow you. It's a win-win situation. If you could think about it, that would be great. If you're an artist, you already understand how much of a slap to the face this is. Like, the "we'll pay you in publicity" stint is so old and so incredibly disrespectful to people who spend hours of their time creating pieces of art. It's just really, really scuzzy for you younger artists out there. Don't ever sell away your work for publicity without getting paid. Our work is just as valid as any other form of line of work. Anyway, of course, I know I'm just concerned with areas regarding design copyright. I see you guys don't have designers. What if we just use the cat's eyes? Is that okay? Or you can design a good-looking cat eyes for us. So they're just looking for more and more excuses to steal. Like, bro, you guys couldn't just draw something yourself. Anyway, most importantly, our designs are to target fans like Emma Customs, and we often work together. So this is like kind of a rough translation, but basically it means targeting LPS fans and people who like the specific customizer's designs. Everyone has their own specialty. We specialize in production. Design is our weakness. That's why we hope to find designers and artists that would work with us to design, but we are not willing to pay solid prices for it. Fix that for you. I'm sorry that you guys are like hearing my my sass coming through. I'm just like so shocked and grossed out by this whole situation, so I'm gonna try and keep the sass to a minimum. But do you guys share profits with Emma Customs, or is it just a one-shot payment of $30? At the time of the screenshot, they were busy typing, and I waited for an answer, but they never replied. They overwork, exploit, and use artists to get designs they make thousands off of. Notice when Celtic started asking more questions of fair pay and details about Emma and copyright issues, they didn't respond. They only cared about the design and left. And like I said earlier in this conversation, you can tell that they are continuing to prod and convince Celtic of using this to use their design. Like, that is so messed up. Illegal stuff they do. I'm so sorry, kiddos who have to read that. First off, they say their products are one of a kind despite producing hundreds, which is false advertising and illegal. So yeah. Secondly, they buy 5-star reviews on Amazon. They give people their product for free in exchange for 5 stars. I haven't looked into this, but in fact, in the past when I was like too dumb to understand, I've been personally exploited by a company or two who have tried to get, 5-star reviews. Will give it to you for free. Never do that, by the way. Thirdly, they tried to turn people's addresses into selling locations without permission. So this gets like really weird. Like, this gets into some technical business stuff. So I completely understand if some of you guys might get confused by this stuff. But if you do understand, this is really, 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 really bad. So this is coming from Tea with Birdie. Caption says, them trying to use Tea with Birdie's address as a selling location without consent or permission. Already that is very, very scuzzy and not good whatsoever. But anyway, I'm going to read these two story posts for you guys. Again, you don't have to stay on this video for too long. I'm specifically reading this so you can do other things in the background and just like understand what's happening here. So we have a screenshot of LPS Lover QA Taylor's Instagram in the background, and the caption says, I'd be careful if they contact you. They contacted us to review one of their products, so we did. They paid us via PayPal to buy the item off of eBay. So far, so good. Then asked another favor if they could use our address to send a verification code. Question marks are coming out of my head right now. They had our address from eBay, and I'm like, whatever, but I asked about it more and why they couldn't use their US address, and they said it didn't work. So then they didn't even answer my question of what the code was for and messaged me again today and asked if we received the verification code, and we did. And upon opening it and seeing what it actually was for, I believe it was for using our address to create a selling account on Amazon. So I didn't send them the code and told them like what's going on. I believe they use your address to leave positive reviews and possibly send things to make you pay for fees from their account. On top of that, if they do something illegal, we can get in trouble. So I am not very well versed in Amazon at all. Like, I'm an eBay seller, but Amazon, I don't really understand the selling side of things. So I can't offer too much of a valuable opinion outside of what was said. But hopefully, if you guys understand, this is just very, just straight up sketch. It goes on. I told them upon further research, we aren't comfortable sending the code if it makes our address a selling point for Amazon and block them. I'm wondering if they lure you in by asking you to review their product, then ask another favor. They offered us $20. And since there are younger kids in the LPS community who probably don't know what the code is for, they send them the code and use their address. The collie we bought via eBay's address is in the US, and we looked it up and it looks like an apartment. So in theory, if they contact you asking to use your address to send a verification code, don't fall for it. And I just want to offer a personal theory. This is just like my opinion. It's not fact, so don't like use this as like anything solid. But just from all of the stuff that I'm seeing, I just think like I cannot imagine how many artists have been exploited or attempted to be exploited. And I wonder if this group of people does that because they know that Littlest Pet Shop is mostly a younger community and kids, lots of teenagers too, like won't know they're being exploited. Again, that's my personal thought of what could possibly be going on here. This section in particular, it's hard for me to form a solid opinion or explanation for because, again, I don't really know too much about this. But yeah. Finally, we have a response from LPS Celtics, and just to go back, LPS Celtics is the one who had their design stolen, and just take a good look again. Like I said earlier, the designs are just like uncannily similar. There was no attempt to even change like as much as the eye color, and yeah, after seeing the previous conversation over here, with a completely different design, hopefully you guys can understand that this is like way too much of a coincidence to be accidental or anything like that. But anyway, I'm gonna read this and I have so many thoughts and yeah. Hello, this is LPS Celtics. I recently just saw Corex's post about LPS Lover QA and was asked if I could share my experience with this company and regarding the blushing dachshund. I agreed to share this once again in hopes that more artists won't fall victim to companies like this and to reveal what actually goes on behind the scenes. Firstly, in my viewpoint, the design is stolen, or rather to put it nicely, heavily referenced, especially with the proof of the bribery that took place nearly a month before LPS Lover QA posted their new dachshund. So I'll begin with that. So bribery, and this is referring to the screenshots that we already looked at earlier. I spoke to them in Mandarin because I wanted to make sure that there was no miscommunication as their English was a bit off sometimes. Please note that I mean no offense by this statement. So March 3rd, 2021, I was contacted by Judy Loves LPS. They were interested in buying my custom design in exchange for an unreasonable amount, $30, and 5 mass-produced versions of my custom. I declined because I didn't want my custom to be mass-produced, and it would defeat the purpose of custom one-of-a-kind. Moreover, with that amount offered, I knew right off the bat that they do not appreciate or care about artists or designers, so I didn't bother telling them that it's too little, etc. This also signified that they do not have proper contracts with designers. The fact that there's none is extremely risky. You can easily be taken advantage of because there's no official binding agreement, terms and conditions of use of the design, etc. After I declined the first time, they tried to compromise and asked if I could design LPS eyes for them instead. I declined once again. Then they bribed me with fame and followers, which you never do to any creators, and I've already shared my opinion on that a little earlier. It's unethical, unprofessional, and disrespectful. They also brought up how they worked with another artist to make me feel safe and think that they're trustable to work with, since other artists have worked with them before. In turn, I asked if they shared profits with their artists or designers, and then they left me on red. Their silence can only mean one thing. Additionally, the custom LPS design and art competitions. So if you guys are familiar with LPS Lover QA, you might know that they do lots of different competitions. I'm not going to go through every single one of these posts to specifically find one, but if you are aware at all of LPS Lover QA, you know that they do these art contests, and many of these designs were made as part of art contests and stuff like that. By the way, committed to providing more one-of-a-kind custom LPS, not officially licensed products, and considered fan art. Okay, bye. Sorry. Anyway, back to the art competitions. Ever wonder why they made those? In the DMs, they mentioned that they don't specialize in designing LPS and that they need designers. Well, the competitions are a way of getting free designs so that they can sell more LPS and increase their profit. Essentially, they're letting the consumers, you, do the work for them. Yes, they do reward the winners, but do understand that it's an unfair amount and the winners don't receive share profits from future sales of the design custom. So all of this just goes back to them. They're basically just asking for free labor with the promise of getting a toy with your design on it. I understand that some people are alright with this form of payment and that by participating in the competition, you are essentially giving consent for your design to be mass-produced. To conclude, the competitions are a way for them to take advantage of their consumers. It's all business tactics. Then again, from a business standpoint, they have to do what they have to do to keep their business alive. And from here, I do want to point out my personal opinion, and also from technically a business owner's perspective too. Right here, it says that they don't specialize in designing LPS and they need designers, and that is completely okay, just alone. We all have our different strengths, and we can't all do this alone. I'm not even running this channel on my own anymore. I have two wonderful people helping me with eBay stuff, LPS Rescue and LPS Blue Cat Productions, and Luna's Little Galaxy is helping me edit my fan mail videos from now on, so there's nothing wrong with asking for help or finding other people to do things for you. The issue here is that they aren't giving the proper compensation, so it doesn't matter what field of work you're in, whether you're producing something or designing something, you can tell that LPS Lover QA does not value artists, which is really upsetting. I mean, that's just a general stigma that those of us who create things are because we're just making art or whatever, that our work is not as important. That's something that really bothers me. And I mean, you can just see that they don't value their artists at all. Anyway, like I was saying earlier, it's completely okay to ask for help, but, you have to pay people the proper compensation. I pay my own eBay helpers hourly, and I pay Luna every single time she works a video for me because, their time is valuable. Everyone's time is valuable no matter what kind of work they do. So over here, when it says from a business standpoint, they have to do what they have to do to keep their business alive, they're making more than enough money to pay artists, a decent amount. $30 is not enough for a design that you're going to mass produce. At least a few $100s is more reasonable, or some form of royalties per every, custom that is purchased. LPS Lover QA sees their artists as just quick one-time jobs, and that's not how they should be treated. Refusal of working with them. There are many red flags, offered payment of $30, and the disrespectful offer of fame and followers. I also didn't know how they operated behind the scenes and how they're mass producing these LPS. Just concerned about the ethical side of things and didn't want to be associated with a shady business like that. Now, with the release of the Blushing Dachshund on March 31st. So I made my Dachshund custom on January 14, 2021, and posted it on February 24th. They contacted me on March 3rd and had their Dachshund posted on March 31st, so the timeline adds up for them to have referenced my custom. Design. Compared to my custom, the base color is different. However, the same blue eyes, blue bows, I'm talking about the color, not the ribbon style itself, blush, and teardrop-shaped eyes gives it away. I'm not saying I own the colors, I own the design itself, the elements put together to form the design. I don't claim to own the teardrop-shaped eyes either. Hasbro has been doing it for their own LPS designs. I just made customs that are reminiscent of the Hasbro look, which was my intention for my customs. What I cannot deny is that the designs, mine and LPS Lover QA's, are similar. When accused of copying and stealing, LPS Lover QA countered that theirs was inspired by LPS 64, so I'm putting a picture up here on screen right now, and hopefully you can already tell that that's not it. In comparison of the Dachshund design to LPS 64, LPS 64 has blush above its eyes, ears, and on its mouth. It has no teardrop eyes, and its blue eyes are darker, more towards the royal blue and cobalt blue than sky blue. Furthermore, blush placements differ. In the DM screenshot, there's proof that they were screenshotting my customs instead of sending the post through DM, so there's a possibility of them screenshotting my other customs too for further reference. Because of this, of course, I got paranoid and privated my custom account. This is where even if you don't care about art theft or all of this horrible stuff that's going on behind the scenes, which I hope that you do, if nothing less, this is just LPS Lover QA is actually like ruining people's, livelihoods and joy in this community. After bringing up the issue, I received some vicious DMs, and I saw a few friends and followers of mine being attacked for sharing my post. Some posted on their stories saying her account is private, how could the company have copied it? Like I mentioned in the paragraph above, I privated my account to avoid further copying, but at that time I was too tired to further explain, especially with the influx of DMs, good and bad ones, so I logged out. When I logged back in 2 months later, I deactivated both my LPS photography account and custom account. And no, I didn't check my notifications or DMs when I came back to deactivate my account, so I'm sorry if I never replied. Please don't bother finding my photos of my customs. Do understand I will never post them anymore. So because of this, we lost an amazing customizer. Celtic is completely justified in not wanting to be a part of this community anymore. If I were unjustly attacked over something of mine that was stolen, I would probably want to leave too. In the DMs, they were interested in one of my short hair customs and didn't mention anything about the dachshund, perhaps because if they copied the cat, it would have been too obvious, so they chose the dachshund instead. Personally, I think it's hard for the wronged artist to win this issue, especially against a company like that. But that's not to say that we can just let this go and let them continue to exploit people. At the end of the day, I understand that these are toys. LPS Lover QA has more followers and have established consumers, especially with the majority of their audiences being children and young teens. People and parents will still buy from them because a mass-produced custom is cheaper than a one-of-a-kind painted custom. They also use the tactic of targeting popular LPS content creators to promote their products. And I'm by no means saying that these LPS content creators, that it's their fault for promoting LPS Lover QA. And I will say that Judy did actually come up to me a while ago, several months ago, to do a promotion. And I hardly go on my Instagram, so I didn't see their DM. I said that I was interested and they never replied. But, as you can see, it was definitely for the best. We have no control over how companies operate. But what can be done and learned from this is being aware of marketing strategies, shady companies like this, as well as being cautious when selling your art and designs. If you are unable to understand my perspective, that's fine. Be respectful and please do not leave any insensitive comments. If you still support their company or other companies that damage artists, get some help. Thank you for your time and for Korux to speak up about this. So, final thoughts. Now that you guys are aware of what has been going on for a very long time. I mean, the Dachshund was released in March. It's been almost a year since all of this has happened. And these are just a handful of stories of people who were exploited by LPS Lover QA. I'm hoping that now that you know about this, I'm really urging you guys to boycott them, to unfollow them, to, not buy or promote their customs anymore. My fellow LPS tubers, I hope if you see this and you're contacted by them to promote their products that you won't anymore. Last year, I did a video about one of LPS Taylor's baby collie customs. I've privated that video because I don't feel comfortable with people seeing it and thinking that I endorse that. I'm really sorry that I had to make a video like this. I feel horrible that this was all posted in November. I just found out about it like today. I'm posting this on January 4th, and I'm filming this like literally the night before. I'm not monetizing this video. There's no ads or anything. This is just pure information. I just want you guys to know. I feel absolutely devastated for the people who have been exploited and used by these companies, and I feel even worse that, it's just so hard to combat this kind of stuff because a lot of people go to defending the company because they make customs that they like rather than the artists who are the ones who get hurt by all of this. Celtic is gone from the community entirely. I looked for them. Their stuff is gone. And it makes me so upset that this company or this just set of companies are the direct reason for someone leaving this wonderful, amazing community. And, the LPS community is one of the most pure, wholesome communities I've ever even witnessed at all in my life. And it just makes me feel so horrible that there are artists and customizers who no longer feel safe posting their work for fear of it getting stolen. So, yeah, I'm not like a big fan of cancel culture, and this is the last kind of video that I'd ever want to make. But again, because I have so many subscribers, so many of you guys watch my videos actively, I feel like you guys need to know. If I have the power to give a bigger voice to the people who were wronged in this whole situation, I'm going to. So yeah, I hope you guys I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't even enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think. Please share this around. If you are following LPS Lover QA or their sister companies, please unfollow them. Do not buy their customs anymore because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, who is being exploited or underpaid or not paid at all, so that these people can make thousands and thousands of dollars off of counterfeit toys. To brighten up the mood, I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, whatever day you're watching this. I hope that your day so far has been treating you well. I don't want any of you guys to be dwelling too much on bad stuff. Go watch a cat video, go watch one of my stupid videos. Don't be complacent when you know companies do bad things. And yeah. Bye everyone. Hope you all are having a wonderful day. Yeah. Bye.